Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Nat Walsh. Today we're going to have a play with some Coco Vanilla Daydream paper. Now I've had a play with this before, so we've got a couple of little bits of scraps and I really love it. It's just nice and soft and it's just very, very pretty. I also found some square card bases in my stash. Now I never use square card bases. Don't ask me why. I really don't know, but we're going to get rid of some basically. And Daydream has your little ephemera pack. We have a couple of little pieces that we can punch out. Sorry about that. And a lot of the bits and pieces have extra elements. You'll see that on one of the other cards. So there's lots and lots of flowers in this thing, in this ephemera pack. Lots of little houses. You can see there is about two. I think there was about 2 sheets. You can see the hearts there. You can see the little butterflies that have the house on them. There was the circle that we're using here that had the rainbow in the other piece. So a lot of them are intertwined with each other. And you can just see off to the left there's another one there, and we'll use him on another card. So we're just going to raise this up. I was going to put some glue down and put it flat, but we thought we'd give it a little bit of dimension there. And that's basically how our little card is going to look. Now, I am only going to be putting foam dots on the outer edge of this floral element because it's going to sit on either side and be raised up and held up by that circle. I'm not even going to put glue on the center of it because it just doesn't need it. I'm going to put so many little foam dots on it that it's not going to matter at all. So it's going to take me a little while. This one, it just had a little thing that hasn't quite cut out when they manufactured it, so we just get rid of him. So it's going to take me a little while just to work out where I can put my foam dots and where I can't. So this is my first video for 2021. Let's just hope 2021 is a lot better than 2020 was for everyone all around the world, and that hopefully we can kick some corona butt. So we're just getting rid of all our little dots. As I said, I'm not even going to use the glue in the center because it's not needed. It's going to be supported by that circle. This happy, I'm only going to put glue on the outer, on the H and the Y, and I'm not even going to worry about the middle bits either because I want those tucked under the sentiment, and with the glue it's just going to hold it there. We're going to put a little bit of stickles. And that is our first card. This is Stardust Stickles. All the information, the photos and everything else will be linked down below. So over on my blog, you can go over and have a look and get all the measurements for the most of it. We're using the ephemera pack, the die cut pack. So it's only really going to be a couple of panels that we're going to need. Pretty much there's only really 2 sheets of paper. I killed a couple of the die cuts, so there you go. We got rid of some of those, which is always handy. It's so pretty, but it's always handy to use things up. So don't hoard them, use them. Card number 2, this is our panel that's all intertwined, and you're going to see all the little bits and pieces that attach with this. Then you've got another little frame, which I'm just going to toss him out because he's half coloured with the pink stripes and half not. And then we've got our rainbow. So we're going to use those pink stripes, the rainbow and the wood grain. Sort of Polaroid sort of look to it. Now, I'm going to make a shaker card Can you figure out what I've already done wrong? And that's where I just realised. So I don't know, as soon as I go to make shaker cards, I always forget that I've got to put the acetate down first. I know it, and when I make a shaker card in real life, I don't have a problem, but as soon as I try and do a video, I think I'm thinking ahead of myself. So I've searched my stash and found a little bit of acetate that will do. I've got so many offcuts and everything else, I'm not going to cut it into a great big piece. Now we can put these back on. I did get rid of the one that I'd already put down properly. And these are just strips of foam, and they're quite a good height, so I'm not even worrying about these being like doubling it up like you would with a normal shaker card. But you do need to make sure, most of you probably already know, but you do need to make sure that with your shaker cards that you put the foam up against each other. Do not leave any gaps, because your element will disappear out through the sides and you'll lose it all. Today we're going to use some Paper Rose shaker mix. This one's called Gem Flakes Shaker. It's basically like little diamond shapes. You'll see it here in a little bit. So I'm just going to cut up another piece of paper just for my backing, and he's going to be right in the middle. As I said, all the elements, measurements and everything else for the elements will be in a link in the description box over to my blog. So this is what I'm planning. Have that in the center and then have my little rainbow. So I'm just positioning that, make sure I hold it down, and I'm just going to mark on the outside edge, and you can't see it when you put it all together, because I've got the little card here. It's really quiet and you can't see anything. So this is our little foam. This is the inside bit. So these foam are a lower profile to the strips that I've just used. So it's not going to fill it up completely. We're just going to match that up with our lines. Rub out our lines. The top one was only pretty much the one that you could see, and that was it. The same thing, I thought whether I should put this flat and glue this down or put this with some foam, but we decided obviously to go with some foam again. So both our elements in our shaker card are raised up. So I think it's a nice little dimension to the card. And that's how he's going to look. This is our Gem Flakes, not sequin mix, it's just a shaker mix. And the code and everything else will be linked down below. Now I don't really want to put too much in. It is going to fill up the whole thing, but it's just going to be a nice little soft, because it's going to come out underneath the frame and out in amongst the rainbow, because it's not a solid line. So, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to have a little bit free and easy just to go wherever the shakers end up being. I didn't want to keep the shaker mix inside the pink frame. And there's our little card base, our little panel. There's our other sequin mix. I'm just going to cut this video in a minute and pull out all these pieces. I really like the fact that these You don't need to cut the little, where Craft and other companies, some other companies have, and it's fine, but I like the fact that these ones don't actually have it. That little, where it holds on and keeps it all into the paper pad, the little perforations, you end up with some companies, you end up having to just trim those off, which is not a big deal, but I was having a really lazy day and I quite like the Coco Vanilla. You pop them out of the little sheet and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to cut anything off. There's no little long bits. It just fits in quite nicely. And on the whole, I mean, I think with some of they're my heart, I had to trim off a little bit, but, and of course with the flower. So there's the odd bit. It's not perfect, but you know, either one is pretty good, but I was quite happy not to have to worry about it today. A little bit of multi-matte medium and using reverse tweezers. I think that's what they're called, where you squeeze them to actually open them up, just to get the placing all down. And that's it. There's no other sequins, there's no other stickles, there's nothing else on this card. It's pretty, no more bling or anything else. I'm going to glue that down, and that's card number 2 done. So card number 3 is pretty simple, I think. It's a little bit fiddly, but pretty simple. There we go. He's cute. Okay. We are going to layer a whole bunch of these going up the side, starting from bigger ones, starting right through to smaller ones. Small little seed pods, smaller little floral elements. And I'm just going to place all these down to where I want them, just trying to get them as close as I can. And one more on the top. And this is where we're going to bring in our press and seal. Now, in Australia, we can't get this quite so readily. If you're a member of Costco, in their Sydney, I think, has a Costco. Well, Sydney probably no doubt has Costco. Melbourne has 3, I think. I'm not quite sure. But it's really great. It's not like some normal Glad wrap. It has one side that's sticky. It's not quite so fly away, and it allows you to pick up all the elements, put your glue down, and then position exactly where you want. So there is also a couple of USA food places here in Melbourne that intermittently stock it. So there's a couple of places we can get it, but you can't get this at like Woolworths or Coles or anything like that. Just trying to figure out which sentiment I'm going to use. I'll go back in later on and trim up my sides. I just wanted to let my glue sort of sit a little bit more. I'm going to raise him up some with my big roller foam tape. What I'm going to use in the end is a black glaze pen. As I said, all the information will be linked down below. So that's going to be pretty much my card. If you haven't already subscribed, I would be very honored if you subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell, and that way you'll get notified. Sometimes I have videos all ready to go and I don't get time to send it over to a Facebook group. I'm in quite a few Facebook groups, but if you click on the little bell, you'll get notified. And this is a card for Leslie from Little Bits in Keysborough, so her information will be also linked down below. So give her a call if you're in Melbourne, or she is more than happy to correspond with you if you're interstate, and she can easily send you anything that you wish to have sent to you, basically. So I don't know if you can hear the kids. Today is a really, really hot day. Today it is 38 degrees and there's kids next door in a pool, which is great. So there's our 3 cards. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.